put your hands together for 12-year-old Darci and her sidekick, Katie.
Darci Lynne, a 12-year-old ventriloquist, was a rising star in America's Got Talent. Her mother, Misty, knew her daughter struggled with confidence and signed her up for talent shows to help her come out of her shell. At 6 years old, she was already competing in beauty pageants and keeping up with her gymnastics practice. However, it wasn't until she stumbled upon ventriloquism at the International Cinderella pageant that everything changed. Misty was supportive of her daughter's passion for ventriloquism, but she didn't want her daughter dedicating her young years to this niche craft. She practiced in front of her mirror until she mastered the skill of talking without moving her lips. Around her 10th birthday, she decided to go all in and entered a local contest called Edmund's Got Talent, where she took first place and even managed to outperform adults, walking away with $300. This win caught the eye of Gary Owen, a professional ventriloquist who saw something special in her. He became her mentor, and from that point on, things were changing for her. America's Got Talent seemed like a dream opportunity when she got the chance to audition. Mel B, her rabbit puppet, performed Summertime with Simon Cowell, and even hit the golden buzzer, sending her directly to the quarterfinals.
You are so adorable and so sweet. Oh my God.
However, her mom was increasingly concerned about what they had gotten themselves into. The world of entertainment is filled with pressures that no 12-year-old should really have to deal with. After Mel B's golden buzzer moment, her audition blew up online, becoming the most viewed audition in the history of America's Got Talent, amassing over 1.5 million views on Facebook alone. The deeper she went into the competition, the more the pressure grew. The family's life had been turned upside down. They were constantly traveling, and her schedule was now dictated by rehearsals and appearances. She introduced new puppets like Oscar the Mouse and Edna Doorknocker, all while putting on performances that left audiences stunned. It wasn't just ventriloquism anymore. It was storytelling, acting, singing, a whole package. But behind the glam, her mom couldn't shake the feeling that they were in over their heads. As the final rounds approached, the stakes got even higher. She faced off against other incredible talents, including Preacher Lawson, Angelica Hale, and others. The competition was fierce, and there was no denying the talent on stage. During her final performance, she sang, "With a Little Help from My Friends," with both Petunia and Oscar, earning yet another standing ovation. When she was finally announced as the winner, it seemed like a dream come true. But for Misty, the proud moment was also bittersweet. She knew that this win meant her daughter's life would never be the same again. She would have to navigate fame, media, and a career that most adults would struggle to handle. Winning America's Got Talent brought fame, but it also meant that her childhood was effectively over. Even when the family tried to settle back into a normal life, things were different. She returned to public school briefly, but later switched to homeschooling to manage her new hectic schedule. Winning America's Got Talent changed Darci's life in a big way.
It's time. America, here is your winner. Darci Lynne!
Bringing both fame and challenges. Life after America's Got Talent was not all sunshine and rainbows. Darci went on to tour the country, starting with a 5-show stint that quickly expanded to 52 shows due to high demand. There were moments of excitement, like when she got to host her own holiday special or worked alongside big names like Pentatonics and Terry Fator. But those moments were contrasted by the constant work and exhaustion that comes with being a young star. Misty tried to keep her daughter grounded, but the reality was that their lives were now controlled by contracts, obligations, and a never-ending stream of public interest. Her fame continued to grow, and with it came more opportunities and more challenges. She starred in a musical drama called A Cowgirl's Song, which gave her a taste of acting. She also became a panelist on Nickelodeon's show Unfiltered. She was trying to branch out beyond ventriloquism, which was admirable, but it also meant juggling even more responsibilities. Misty found herself questioning if they were pushing her too hard. The fear of burnout loomed large. As Darci continued to grow and expand her career, one can't help but wonder if fame is all it's cracked up to be, or if it's just a flashy curtain hiding the pressures and heartbreak that come with it. As she embraces acting, singing, and even playing the guitar, One can't help but wonder, will her love for ventriloquism fade away, or is this just the beginning of something even more complicated? One thing's for sure, her story is far from over, and there are plenty of twists left to come. The rise to fame had many magical moments, but it also had its fair share of challenges. The bright lights and big stage came with enormous pressure.
Darci, you're just out of this world. You're my golden buzzer, and Oscar, I will date you.
Something her mother Misty couldn't ignore. As she continued to climb higher in the entertainment world, the stakes only increased. Suddenly, her everyday life involved constant traveling, live performances, public appearances, and a rigorous schedule that most adults would struggle to keep up with. Despite all the cheering crowds and the fame, the grind behind the scenes was starting to catch up, and Misty began to fear whether her daughter's success was really worth the emotional toll. During the tour, she faced challenges that few people knew about. Performing night after night was grueling enough, but she also had to manage schoolwork in between shows. At first, Misty was adamant about her staying in public school, but the workload became too overwhelming. Homeschooling seemed like the only viable option, but it also isolated her from her friends and any sense of normal teenage life. Fame brings money and opportunities, but it also comes with pitfalls. The online attention from her golden buzzer moment catapulted her to stardom, with endorsement deals, TV appearances, and invitations to collaborate with other celebrities. Misty tried to shield her daughter from the darker side of fame, the criticism, the pressure to always be perfect, and the constant invasion of privacy. But it was impossible to protect her from everything. Acting opened new doors for Darci, but also added more challenges to her path. Darci Lynne, a talented ventriloquist, embarked on a new journey in acting with her debut in a cowgirl song. This new chapter brought unique challenges, such as learning lines, understanding the demands of a film set, and performing without her puppets. Misty, her daughter's mother, was concerned about the strain on her mental health due to the constant need to deliver an incredible performance and never let anyone down. Misty often reminisced about the early days when she first discovered ventriloquism as a hobby, but now it was a career with high stakes.
America choosing me as one of their favorite acts to come back is a really big honor. I think it is a little pressuring though. I feel like I have to live up to what I did.
As the fame and pressure grew, Misty realized that she had underestimated just how demanding it would be. The constant tours, rehearsals, and public appearances were pushing her to her limits, and she could see it. Despite the challenges, Darci remained determined to make the most of her career. She continued to perform, smile for the cameras, and entertain her fans, with her natural talent and charisma undeniable. Her shows were always full of energy. However, behind closed doors, Misty saw the fatigue in her daughter's eyes as she watched as she struggled to balance her work with her personal life. The fame that had seemed so exciting at first now felt more like a burden than a blessing. Misty was proud of her daughter, but she couldn't help but worry about the toll fame was taking. She saw her daughter as more than just a performer. She saw a young girl trying to navigate a world that was far more demanding than she had ever imagined. Fame had brought incredible opportunities, but it had also brought challenges that Misty was struggling to help her daughter overcome. As Darci's career continued to evolve, Misty knew that something had to change. They couldn't keep going at the same relentless pace forever. Darci needed to find a balance, a way to continue doing what she loved without sacrificing her health and happiness. Misty had always been her daughter's biggest supporter, and she was determined to help her find that balance, even if it meant making tough decisions. As Darci's fame continued to grow, she became a familiar face in the entertainment world, with her unique mix of ventriloquism, singing, and comedy captivating audiences. However, Misty remained cautious, knowing that the pressures of fame were not something that could be easily managed. She watched as Darci took on new projects.
Who is your draft pick?
No,
Yes.
no, that's my golden
14
buzzer.
seconds.
I know, this was your golden buzzer.
Each one more ambitious than the last, and she couldn't help but worry about what it was doing to her. Darci Lynne's success is a pure talent story, but there is also a darker side to her story.